26 in today's sold-out doubleheader at Coopers Stadium not only has the Pride Cup on the line, but also 3 extremely important competition points. The Reds need to start converting their chances if they're to regain last season's form, and for their part, victory have hardly been convincing either. Can today be the statement win that both sides so desperately need? We'll find out over the next 90 minutes. We'll take a look now at the way the two sides line up this afternoon. There's one change for Adelaide from the team that drew 0-0 with Sydney FC, as Erin Healy is forced to the bench with a niggle, replaced by Fiona Words. Words, alongside the likes of Emily Condon and Chelsea Dorber, will shoulder the responsibility of turning their goal-scoring form around today. There is one change also for Melbourne Victory, with Rachel Lowe dropped from the matchday squad completely. She's replaced by Sienna Silvesca, who finally gets the chance to make her starting debut for the club after beginning the season with a medical issue. It's a perfect day in Adelaide today. 27 degrees and sunny. It is warm in the sun, but perfect for spectators watching. Could not ask for the weather to turn out better for this Pride Cup fixture. The 4th one, of course. Adelaide United won the first one. That was the last time they beat Melbourne Victory in this competition. Melbourne Victory have walked away with the trophy twice for their part, hoping to do so for a 3rd time today. There is Paige Zoyce. The last time that Adelaide defeated Melbourne Victory, Paige Zoyce was in the starting 11 in navy blue. She started for the Reds as well in the first meeting between these sides this season, a 1-0 Melbourne Victory win. She continues to be a key fulcrum in midfield for Adelaide. And Sienna Silvesca. It was a much heralded move to Melbourne Victory for Silvesca over the off-season after scoring 7 goals and contributing 3 assists to bottom of the table Western Sydney Wanderers last season. Fans will be delighted to see her start this season for the very first time. So for the coin toss and delivering the match ball for today's Pride Cup fixture, there is Hannah Wilkinson, former Kiwi international and Melbourne City player, of course. And Kayla Morrison, they will be very familiar with Hannah Wilkinson. I believe she scored 5 goals once in a game against Melbourne Victory. Kayla Morrison, maybe not remembering that with too much fondness, but there she is in that special Adelaide United Pride Cup jersey, which is wonderful to see. Adelaide United, of course, sporting the rainbow numbers on the back for today's fixture. Adelaide United head coach Theo Siunas, he said during the week that his team were really excited for this challenge against Victory, and that the build-up has been bigger than for a normal fixture. He'll be hoping that they can channel that energy into an effective game plan against a team that the Reds have historically had so little success against. There's the central official, Isabella Mawson. She's assisted by Paula Orlandi and Nick Elligan. The 4th official today is Daniel Cook. And Jeff Hopkins, their head coach for Melbourne Victory, he spoke about them just needing 1 game to kickstart their season this week. They've been good in patches and know what they need to do for sustained success. But can it all come together today to produce the performance they need to really blow off the cobwebs? The captain, Kayla Morrison, always central to that. 11 games so far this season for Victory, 5 defeats, 5 wins, and that remarkable draw, of course, against the Central Coast Mariners. And over the course of the entirety of last season, they only lost twice and still did not lift the Premier's plate. So compared to last season, they know they need to lift. Adelaide, comparing to last season, they certainly need to lift. Only 3 wins so far in this campaign. All of them have come at home, though. Their home record very favourable compared to on the road. And with what will build to be a huge crowd behind them today for this Pride Cup fixture, they'll look to channel that energy, that focus, into doing what they haven't done for nearly 4 years, defeating Melbourne Victory today. The original rivalry, as it's known, between Melbourne Victory and Adelaide United, always a special occasion. Rihanna Policina, the Melbourne Victory player, standing over the ball ready to get proceedings underway. So we are underway in Adelaide for the original rivalry, the Pride Cup between Adelaide United and Melbourne Victory. Both sides in desperate need for 3 points today. Who will come out on top could determine the shape of their season going forward. Joining me on commentary, former Matilda Alicia Ferguson. Ish, how do you see this game shaping up?
Well, I think this is a huge match for both these teams. I think we've spoken about the amount of chances that they have been creating and the ability to actually be clinical in those big moments. So I think it'll only come down to 1 or 2 chances for both teams, and it's who's going to have the composure in front of goal to put it into the back of the net.
Both these sides have had their problems converting chances so far this season. Adelaide more so. That chance completion percentage, big chance completion percentage, only 25%, which is the lowest in the competition. They've scored 9 goals, 5 of them came in 1 game. So again, for both sides, a win here could be huge, just to show what they can do.
Yes, go.
There's Taranto. Playing it into Emily Hodson. Hodson in behind Adriana Taranto. Can't reel it in. Adriana Taranto actually had 9 progressive carries last week against Sydney FC, and that contrasts to the rest of her season, where the most progressive carries she'd had in a game before that was 3. So perhaps a marked change in her role in this side.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if she's being that further player forward, so rather than supporting behind and underneath the ball, trying to get ahead of the ball, that can really help Adelaide's attack.
Policina looking for the ball through. It was a nice ball through as well. Kennedy White, the American, couldn't quite get on the end of it. She scored 6 goals so far this season, White, but 4 of them came in the first 2 games. She'll be hoping for a little bit more consistency in her goal scoring. Both sides just feeling each other out in these opening exchanges. Victory looking to force things moving forward. They will hope that an early goal could open the floodgates for them here.
Move, can we get it? Double mill.
Pickett's throw receives the ball straight back. Saveska with the delivery towards the back post, touched on to Policina, shot blocked, but at the second time of asking, perhaps no. Back to a teammate, and then Sikalis was offside. Promising from Melbourne Victory.
It was wonderful vision from Saveska from this right-hand side. Just a ball to the back post. There's space there for Sikalis. A lovely touch into Policina. Just couldn't get it out of her feet and make the good contact that she needed to get a shot on target. But that was a beautiful ball. A change and switch of attack from Saveska.
Yeah, it was lovely from Saveska. Just putting a marker down to show exactly what she can do. Such an exciting young talent.
Condon, get closer to the ball. Condon, closer.
Janchevsky up the line looking for White. But the attack can go no further.
Hodgie, hold. Mill. Closer. Get closer to the ball. You're free.
Adelaide looking to force things forward. Adriana Taranto loses out. And now Victory in transition. Furphy can't get there, but it'll come out for Sikalis. Policina. Saveska looking for that ball over the top. Sikalis was lurking. Dealt with well by the Reds' defence. Now, can they launch a counter-attack of their own?
Up again.
Wirtz disappointed with herself.
Yeah, they're the type of moments where you really need Fiona Wirtz to hold up the ball and make sure she secures possession, particularly when Melbourne Victory have put a couple of passages of play together. You've won the ball back in good transition. That ball goes forward, trying to transition quickly from defending to attacking. Fiona Wirtz just needs to keep possession for Adelaide.
Condon looking for creative opportunities. Driving into space is Hodson. Ball's kept in. There was options in the middle there, but she wasn't able to find them.
Yeah, Victory was set up pretty well with a 4 across the 6-yard box. As that ball came down this left-hand side for Adelaide, I did see Fiona Wirtz was just kind of loitering in the top left-hand corner of the 18-yard box, waiting for a cutback.
Maybe a little bit of a worry here for Rihanna Policina, who is back on her feet. Jeff Hopkins looking calm. He's had his
pre-match banana. That's right. He's fueled. He's got the protein. He's got the carbs. He's got the potassium. Jeff's ready to go. I mean, I think for him as the Victory coach, with so much success that they've had previously, I guess the biggest concern for Victory is probably the amount of goals that they've conceded. Jeff being a former defender himself, we've heard it numerous times. Defence is so important to this Melbourne Victory philosophy of play, and so having conceded in the manner that they've conceded will be really frustrating for him and the team.
Furphy forced back. All the way back to Claudia Bunge, who plays it back to her keeper. Interestingly, looking at the difference between progressive passes and progressive carries between Kayla Morrison and Claudia Bunge. Morrison, the player who is tasked with that forward momentum more often for Victory for the back. Bunge just playing the safe passes, keeping possession rolling.
Yeah, and it's a great partnership when you've got that understanding and understanding the type of player and how you're suited to that. Kayla obviously loves to stride forward with that, those runs from deep and from the back line.
Adelaide doing well in midfield. But it's Furphy who wins out, but then can't get past Zoyce. Switch of play for Zoyce. Hodson wins out to the approval of the bench. And here in our effects mic, she's been very busy in these opening exchanges.
Yeah, really positive from Hodson on this left-hand side. And trying to, you can hear Theo Tsounas actually willing her on, take on the players, have a go, especially when she's isolated. Melbourne Victory defender 1v1.
It's been an interesting little battle at the moment between these two sides. Victory maybe having more of the forward momentum, but the Reds have been very good in tight spaces so far. Hodson very involved on this near side.
Yeah, it'll be a nice little battle between Pickett and Hodson on this left-hand side. As we say, for Taranto is then making those forward runs into the space in behind, while Hodson is actually dragging Pickett out of position. There's definitely opportunity there.
Here comes White. Furphy, overlapping run, stayed onside. The cutback dealt with only as far as Policina. First touch just got a little bit away from her. Janchevsky from distance. Straight into the keeper's gloves. The 17-year-old Ilona Malag, but Janchevsky from that distance is very dangerous indeed.
She only had one thing on her mind. We've seen her hit some top bends. Janchevsky, she's got a wonderful left foot, great technique, got the ball out of her feet quickly, had a quick look up, and a lovely strike on goal, just to test Malag in the Adelaide United goal.
Furphy making space on this right-hand side for Victory. Hodson back and doing her defensive duties though. Polly Furphy, 4 assists so far this season, still hasn't gotten off the mark in terms of goals. That's something she'll be hoping to do today. White releasing Furphy. Furphy, second opportunity to deliver a ball perhaps. Taken away by Matilda McNamara.
Yeah, it's tight down this right-hand side. I'm sure Matilda McNamara and the Adelaide defence have seen the work of Holly Furphy for this season. She's been really dangerous for victory on this right-hand side, tends to sometimes switch sides. However, the amount of work that she gets through and the quality of her crosses has been really impressive.
Furphy in for White. White was offside. It's been a very busy first 10 minutes for assistant referee Paula Orlandi.
It was a lovely little ball. Kennedy White just made the run, stopped, wasn't able to check back onside quick enough. It was great vision from Holly Furphy, and just to bring that ball inside, try and change the angle up and find a gap between the United defence.
Words trying to hold off Taylor Ray, does well to find Adriana Taranto. Taranto driving into the penalty area. Can she get the cut back? Cut off by Ray, who covered a lot of ground to get back and intercept that ball.
It was better by Fiona Wirtz in the centre of the park. She had Taylor Ray right behind her, putting pressure on her, trying to get her to play backwards, but she was able to turn and play an Adriana Taranto, and a lovely run down that right-hand side, taking on Janchevski. Just couldn't find a teammate in the 18-yard box.
It's one of those moments you remember. Adriana Taranto just bodying Alana Janchevski there. Janchevski, 22 years of age. She started her career as a tearaway winger, and now having to do defensive duels, transformed into a fullback by Jeff Hopkins.
Yeah, I was just having a listen to Jeff on the sideline there. He was just talking to Taylor Ray about when there's a goal kick, staying with Fiona Wirtz, going with her all the way. And what he means by that, if Fiona Wirtz is going to drop back into midfield to try and pick that ball up and turn, as she did, either Claudia Bunge, who's close to her at the moment, or, Jeff is finishing the banana, is ready to go, or either Bunge or Taylor Ray making sure that they stay nice and tight to her so she doesn't have an opportunity to turn and play that ball past them.
Yeah, fascinating little tactical insight there.
Well, she would be the danger player. She's got pace to burn, so if she's actually further up the pitch facing her own goal, then that's really good for Melbourne victory. What you don't want with Fiona Wirtz is her to receive the ball facing forward in behind you. And again, Kayla Morrison did really well there, just trying to keep that pressure on as soon as Wirtz picks the ball up, facing her own goal, staying nice and tight. So it's difficult for her to, one, maintain possession, and two, turn and be able to play a ball forward.
Fiona Wirtz, 29 years of age. The Englishwoman joined Adelaide United back in 2020 and has been there ever since, interrupted by one season at Sydney FC, of course. It's been a key part of Adelaide's success. White trying to thread a ball through to Policina, who was well read by Zoe Tolland, who's been forced to take it out of play.
Yeah, it was lovely play on this right-hand side, little combination. I think I would prefer, I'd like to see Kennedy White just stay a little bit more central. I feel like her status and her stature is quite dangerous, her pace in behind. She is coming out to get on the ball, which I like, staying connected to the game. But you really want to play like Kennedy White, staying in the central area.
Alana Janchevski with corner taking duties. The in-swinging delivery right into the danger zone. Adelaide need to scramble to get it away, and they do. A sign of things to come from set pieces, perhaps.
Well, they've been quality at set pieces. They've got the likes of Kayla Morrison. They've always had decent delivery as well. They have been very clinical at set pieces previously, so I know every team in this league understands how dangerous the Victory are.
And something that Jeff Hopkins mentioned throughout the week is trying to get the likes of Morrison and Bunge scoring from set pieces. Morrison's actually created more than one XG this season without scoring just yet, but she can be dangerous. Also dangerous is Adelaide in transition. Adriana Taranto up against Morrison, can't keep the ball in. Fantastic defending from Victory's captain.
It was great from Kayla Morrison. She really put on the afterburners to go up against Taranto. Just show her, keep that ball going away from goal. Little nudge as well, just to put Adriana Taranto off her momentum and then not being able to keep it in. Wonderful experience defending, as we've seen plenty of times from Kayla Morrison.
Slow down, Hodgie, slow down. Jill, slow down. Relax. Relax, let him come across. Good, Adrian.
Listening in there on Adelaide United head coach Theo Siunis.
Knock it on.
Victory trying to regain possession, but instead Polisina was surrounded by red shirts. So again, it's Taranto, who appears to be playing as a right winger. We're more used to seeing her as a number 10. She's working very well now. She takes the ball away. The cross, first touch from Dorber. Not a good one. And the opportunity ends for Adelaide. She's done that on a number of occasions now. Adriana Taranto has been very dangerous.
Yeah, it's been nice and positive down that right-hand side from Taranto, really going at Janchevski and Kayla Morrison. Just seeing the run of the Adelaide players when that ball is in wide areas. Fiona Wirtz a couple of times. She is the player that wants to check out and probably get the cutback from Taranto on that right-hand side. Kind of in between the 18-yard box line and the penalty spot, so something for Victory to be aware of whenever that ball's wide with Adelaide.
Victory willing to press as well, and
Hold that shake.
came close there to winning the ball in a good area. The Reds defenders did manage to stay composed on that occasion. There's Morrison having to play through some pressure out to Pickett. Laura Pickett's delivery forward. Sophia Sakalis was offside.
That was a good one from Sakalis, just coming across the line, allowing Kennedy White to just loop out to the far position, but she's just got on the wrong side. Frustrating when you're the one delivering the ball in, especially when she can see across the line from when the ball comes in. Really important to try and stay on side.
Lovely turn from Polisina, getting away from Zois. Through the legs to Silvesca. Sienna Silvesca driving forward. Silvesca drags it wide. There are a number of Victory players who have absolutely no problem going for the spectacular, and we know they're capable of pulling it off.
Yeah, a little nutmeg there from Polisina. Silvesca, another little look up. About 25 to 24 yards out or so. Again, just trying to test Malag in the Adelaide United goal.
It goes first time, it goes.
This Adelaide defence doing very well to play out from the back in the face of this Victory press, and it creates them some space. Again, Taranto just driving past Janchevski yet again. Adriana Taranto, ball across. Good grab from Courtney Newbon.
Hey, just drop one little bit, just drop a little bit.
I love watching Taranto just be nice and positive, trying to take the players on that right-hand side. Fiona Wirtz just curled her run around her to the outside.
I think that's about 3-0 to Taranto against Janchevski as well. Melissa Taranto that time, just losing out in that duel. Polisina playing a very ambitious ball that Kennedy White was not able to reach.
No, I don't think they were on the same page for that one. Interesting, Theo Siunis was saying before, as they were playing out, he was willing Emily Hodson to actually play the ball first time around the corner. But they've got a little bit of time and space here at the moment. Try and draw the Victory players in so they can then break out of that pressure.
Explain to us a little bit more about this cat and mouse game that goes on with the press, because on one hand, if you make a mistake, you're in trouble, but on the other hand, if you play through, you can create real opportunities for yourself.
Well, I think the great thing with most of our goalkeepers these days is that pretty much all of them, they're all just an additional attacking player who start the play. So while you want to try and engage the opposition to bring them out of position, And rather than having to always play it short, you've got that option to actually just eliminate 4 or 5 players by breaking through the 2 attacking, the attacking and the midfield line with 1 long ball, as we've seen a couple of times with Adelaide.
This ball forward, just going to no one.
I think my only suggestion for Adelaide, and I can see what they're trying to do, drag it out, look for that option to break out of the pressure, but maybe just trying to switch sides by Melag. She's played 2 to the right-hand side. It's been read pretty well. They've kept some possession, but just trying to switch it up from side to side just to make sure that it doesn't become too predictable for Melbourne Victory to defend.
Matilda McNamara all the way back to Melag. Mel Taranto. Looked to find her twin Adriana. Couldn't do so. Now Policina poking it forward into the path of Kennedy White. Kennedy White has to check her run slightly. And the ball looking for either Furphy or Silvesca. Read well. They're doing well to get to here, Adelaide. What can they do from these moments to break through? Mel Taranto to Adriana. Options in the middle once again. Adriana Taranto takes on Janczewski, drives into the penalty area and no one there at the back post to head home.
Well, another wonderful run, Taranto. She's done this a few times. Just a little jink inside and then taking the ball with the outside of her foot. Driven past Janczewski. There was players in there around the box. It was a good ball in, but just a bit too much pace on it for any of those Adelaide United players to really commit to it, to try and get ahead on it, any body part.
Hodson now into Taranto. Wirtz. Ball clipped in. Condon. Lee Condon takes a touch. Not able to find a teammate as she needed. Zoyce. Victory thought that they'd won possession, but illegally, says the referee, so the Reds will have an opportunity to deliver a deep set piece.
I think Zoyce was a little lucky to get away with that. She had a teammate, Taranto, on the right-hand side of her. She could have kept switching that ball out, tried to do a little Cruyff turn, come back, and drew the foul. But really, there was plenty of space on that right-hand side when she initially received that pass.
It's not the first time that Zoyce has faced her former club this season, but regardless, she'll be desperate to prove herself. She's from Melbourne. Was at Victory for 5 years.
And Victory playing a very high line here. Interested to see.
Zoyce's delivery. Headed away, but it was met by Wirtz, who couldn't direct it on target. It would have had to have been on instinct. Adelaide came close here.
Well, there were plenty of Victory bodies in there, weren't there? Kayla Morrison got to it as Courtney Newbon came out. Adelaide players didn't quite get the timing of their runs, but Fiona Wirtz nearly with the rebound, just didn't have enough time to be able to direct it back towards goal.
Would she have had any time to react there, or would it have just been on instinct, on a bit of luck, you're just sort of hoping the ball goes in the way you want it to go?
Yeah, and I think the height of the ball as well was a bit awkward, so you could see it kind of hit off the top of her head. So by the time Kayla Morrison's headed the ball out, then you're trying to read the flight of it quickly and control it at the same time, and it can be extremely difficult.
Well, Victory getting away with one there. Adelaide with the throw-in routine. Matilda McNamara coming from deep. She is from the bench, suggests this was a move from the training ground. McNamara can't get past Bunch.
Win, Hodgie. Strong. Yes. Hard.
Furphy trying to advance forward.
And Adelaide getting in some really solid positions in those wide areas. Every single time Fiona Wirtz is going in, checking back into a little pocket of space, has no one defending her. If they can find her, then I think that's the main thing that they need to improve, getting into some good positions, but just actually trying to pick out a player. just to progress it on and create those goal-scoring opportunities.
The end result, a Melbourne victory free kick after Furphy copped a little bit of a kick on the way through. It's okay to continue. Bunge's free kick, very direct. Lag will take a moment just to adjust to the bounce, but a little bit too direct. He was able to gather comfortably. The 17-year-old came in this season. Claudia Jenkins starting the season between the sticks, replaced by Theo Siunis a few games ago after he was unhappy with her performance. Adriana Taranto unhappy with that referee's decision.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sakalis did really well just getting her body between the ball and Adriana Taranto in that situation. Just to draw the foul, really challenging for Taranto to actually stop her momentum going forward as well. It was clever play by Sakalis.
So Polisina and Janchevsky standing over this free kick. The right foot of Polisina or the left of Janchevsky. It'll be Polisina's delivery towards the back post, headed across. Furphy did not quite get there. Clever routine.
And we've seen it time and time again. Delivery to the far post. Kayla Morrison getting up on the ball. Could she have actually gone for goal? Potentially, but that is another great option. Just nodding the ball back across makes it very difficult for the goalkeeper as they've seen that ball come across their box and then having to change direction. But it was a great delivery from Polisina.
Throw into the penalty area, just hooked away.
Hands on her. Hands on her. Hodgie.
It's right in front of you. I did not. You literally saw a hit off. She came up her right. Oh, you don't watch it in the game.
Hearing Claudia Bunge's opinion about that decision. Here come the Reds. Toronto's ball. Sending Wirtz off and chasing. She can't get there. That's a nice touch from Paige Zoyce to take it around Silvestre.
Mel, get across, Mel.
Anna Taranto. Ball in behind for Dorber, who goes to ground rather spectacularly.
She looks in a bit of pain as well.
No foul, according to the referee. It was heavy contact.
Yeah, Kayla Morrison. Well, I think it was just hip on hip, or maybe just hip on the top of Chelsea Dorber's glute. See Kayla Morrison, that right hip, really trying to get that contact in. It was a fair challenge, but depending on that height difference as well, Kayla Morrison's hip, as she dips down, I think probably caught Chelsea Dorber either just in that lower back area or the top of her glute.
Yeah, it looked a very painful one. Chelsea Dorber, only one goal so far this season, 2 assists as well.
Yeah, definitely that contact, wasn't it, from Kayla Morrison's hip there. I know what a strong defender she wasn't. She was going in for the physical contact against Chelsea Dorber. And I think Chelsea Dorber probably just didn't actually set herself well. She wasn't expecting that much contact. She didn't expect that Kayla Morrison was going to come in so strong potentially, but hopefully she's okay to continue.
Is to explain to people at home who may not play football themselves or aren't quite in tune with the intricacies of refereeing, what makes that sort of contact not a foul when other kinds of contact are?
That is just body to body. So you're allowed to have the contact as body to body as long as your arms aren't down, as long as your elbows aren't up, as long as you're not palming someone off, then that's absolutely fair contact. And in that situation, Chelsea Dorber just bounced off Kayla Morrison. We saw it previously, Adriana Taranto on that right-hand side. Kayla Morrison did the same thing. Knows that the players are going away from goal and just keeps herself nice and strong and puts a bump in on them to try and break up their momentum.
Textbook defending.
Oh, great defending. I mean, we know she's a quality defender, Kayla Morrison. Always has been a wonderful addition to the Ninja A-League.
Was an Australian citizen now. There were rumours that she might be able to link up with the Midfieldas that were scuppered by an injury or by a World Cup replacement stint in the NWSL in the US, where, of course, she's from back in 2023. So you never know. It could still happen in the future, maybe. Those rumours have quietened a little bit for now. Adelaide looking for another path forward. Wirtz doing a lot of the hard work up top. She'll rotate in and out with Condon in that furthest forward role. There's a nice touch from Furphy. Furphy's ball, though, getting in behind. Silvestre is there. Options in the middle if she can find them. Silvestre's delivery, the header from White, claimed by Malag. Good move from Victory.
Well, I thought there was going to be too much put on that pass into this right corner to Silvestre, but she got onto it, tucked it back on her left foot, and Kennedy White did really well to actually direct that ball on target. That's one of those ones that maybe a little bit more of a loop there makes it a very challenging save for Malona Malag.
The Reds just about managing to maintain possession here, but Taranto nudged off the ball, so it's Pollicina driving forward in behind for Furphy. Holly Furphy, her cut back, can only find Ella Tonkin, who was able to get it away. The Reds up this left-hand side, again giving a lot of work for Fiona Wirtz up there. And it dribbles out for a Victory throw.
Pressure on the first, keep playing front.
Victory leading in the shot stat so far. Does pass the eye test. It does seem like it is Victory who have been the more forceful of the two sides in the first 31 and a bit minutes. No goals as of yet.
You say that, Taryn, but then when we talk about how many attacks in wide areas that Adelaide United have had, what they have been missing is actually finding one of their teammates in the box to give them an opportunity on goal. Melbourne Victory players have been having shots from further out, but Adelaide employing a slightly different tactic in those wide areas.
Here comes Adelaide down this side. Dorber's delivery. Nice first touch. Wirtz not able to get away the second. Fantastic work from Claudia Bunge in defence for Victory. Just holding her off and denying Wirtz the chance to get Adelaide's second shot of the game away, but also potentially the first goal of the game as well.
Well, we've seen it time and time again down that right-hand side, and this time it was Chelsea Dorber in the space, delivering the ball. Found Fiona Wirtz in the middle of the park, but just not able, as she had that touch and spinning, to get a clear strike. It was a great ball, I think, finally finding someone. And actually, Fiona Wirtz has finally made a run to the front post rather than trying to check off. That was the right decision, considering where Chelsea Dorber's position was in that wide area, but just couldn't maintain her balance to spin and get a shot on target.
Great work from Sakalis to play Janchevski. Her delivery blocked away by Tolland. The Lions searching for Pollicina. Take two with the throw instead. White trying to get past Zoyce. Tonkin clears it into White. Now Pollicina making a nuisance of herself. Tonkin is clearing it as far into the stands as she can. Pollicina. Sakalis in support, goes for the wall pass. Instead, Adelaide's captain Tonkin can clear it away. Now perhaps an opportunity here. A shallow back pass has allowed Fiona Wirtz in. Still Wirtz. Fiona Wirtz forward to Dorber. No options for Dorber. She just had to wait on the cavalry to arrive. Adriana Taranto now. Taranto looking for the overlapping run. A heavy touch from Toland. Sees it defended away.
Well, it was good work by Fiona Wirtz coming through the middle. Taylor Ray giving that ball away, getting her head up, keeping an eye, just getting those little touches, using her pace to her advantage. I think Chelsea Dorby here could have faced forward. She had about 3 or 4 yards between her and Kayla Morrison. Wanted to play the safe option. I can appreciate that. However, you're one-on-one with the defender at the back. Face forward and go at them. Try and make something happen.
Taranto in behind for Condon. Good work again from Bunch to just shepherd Condon away and allow her keeper Newman to claim.
Forward.
Hear the call of forward from the Adelaide United bench. That's what we're crying out for as well, and no doubt the Adelaide United fans in the stands, because they're doing so much good work right up until that final product.
Yeah, and I think that previous situation with Chelsea Dorby, you know, what you're always trying to get in football is either overload, so 2v1s, 3v2s, or isolating a defender. She had the opportunity, and maybe the pass from Fiona Wirtz maybe didn't have enough weight on it, but she still had time. She had a little scan over her shoulder because Kayla Morrison hadn't committed to come towards her. So she could have spun as she did just in the middle of the park previously.
Furphy in space for Melbourne Victory. Holly Furphy's delivery. Out to the edge of the area. Taken away by Adriana Taranto. Playing it forward for Wirtz. Dorby in the middle, Hodson making a run as well. Taranto ahead of her. So it'll go back to Zoyce. Melissa Taranto has acres of space. Wirtz. And the Wirtz looked to turn and shoot. It was blocked away. Condon trying to keep it alive. The offside flag will deny Adelaide.
It was a nice little passage of play from Adelaide, looking for those combinations, building up through the centre of the park, down that right-hand side, coming back towards the middle. Fiona Wirtz trying to get a shot off, but Kayla Morrison up to the task, and then Claudia Bunge just getting her head in and drawing the foul for that high boot.
Furphy doing really well to win out here against Tonkin. Still Furphy. Safe hands on Malag, who really hasn't put a foot wrong today. Been under a bit of pressure as well, Malag. That's the sort of one where you know as a keeper, if you spill it, there are Victory players absolutely everywhere ready to gobble it up, so she's done well. Condon. Adriana Taranto.
Condon, support.
We've seen this before today. Taranto, this time forced backwards. Wirtz turning in the penalty area, shooting. What a goal! Adelaide United take the lead in the original derby. And it is Fiona Wirtz turning and hitting it into top bins.
Absolute world class from Fiona Wirtz. She tried to get a shot off earlier. You can see her on the left-hand side of your screen here, just kind of checking back, just scanning as well. You can see, again, Kayla Morrison didn't go to her. So she thought, right, I'm just going to do a little turn here, and I've got a wonderful angle just to hit that up and over Newbon. I mean, that's wonderful. Shifted the ball within like 1 or 2 steps, then she's striking on goal and making it impossible for Newbon to get anything on that. Quality goal by Fiona Wirtz.
Yeah, there's no saving that. And that's what she can do. It's her first goal of the season. We haven't seen it this season. We've seen it today. Adelaide United have not defeated Melbourne Victory in nearly 4 years. It's been 10 games of Melbourne Victory winning or draws. Could this be the game where it all turns around?
It was just going back to that, how that goal came about, and I think what Fiona Wirtz did was put Kayla Morrison in 2 minds.
There's a shot from distance from Kennedy White. looking to equalise with the spectacular.
Yeah, on that, Taranto playing that ball into Wirtz was potential. She took off as well and has been so dangerous on the right. So I think Kayla Morrison was a bit cautious, wondering whether it was going to be a 1-2 into that right-hand flank. But what a turn, and what great awareness from Fiona Wirtz as well. That's what all the top-class strikers do. They know, they scan, they kind of just check into a little bit of space, but their first thought was always, how can I get a shot on goal? How can I face forward? And she did that wonderfully well.
Now it's Victory, the team tasked with forcing the issue, getting themselves back into this game. They're capable of it. Adelaide here having to negotiate the last 5 minutes or so of this half in the lead. You can't imagine they'll take the foot off the pedal. They want more.
Yeah, I think it's really important to maintain this lead and not concede going into half-time. I think Jeff Hopkins, I think mainly like a concern for Victory is they've had all these shots on goals, but where are they coming from? Most of them have come from outside the box, so long range. So what else do we need to do? I feel like they've had more opportunities in previous games with Holly Furphy in those wide areas and Sakalis, and I think that's what they're going to have to bring to the second half. Everything is played in central areas at the moment. I think they need to get back to what they do well and exploit those wide areas.
Get organised, get organised.
Really, for all that Victory had more shots and had more chances, Adelaide were always threatening to do just that, to do just what they did. And finally, someone found space looking towards goal in the penalty area in Melbourne Victory's box. And Fiona Wirtz managed to convert. Zoyce forced back by Policina. Namara. Oh, dangerous back pass. Furphy is there. Holly Furphy can't connect the way she would have liked. And Malag can touch it behind for a corner. A golden opportunity to equalise there for Holly Furphy.
Huge opportunity. Matilda McNamara, just not a great pass. Taranto lunging at it. Furphy trying to get a touch on it. It was running away from her quite quickly and just wasn't able to get enough on it. And Malag having to push it round for a corner. Well, that was a big opportunity for Victory to capitalise on United's mistake.
Policina with the in-swinging delivery. The referee just having to sort out a little bit of pushing and shoving in the penalty area before she's allowed to take. Plenty of pressure on the young goalkeeper here. Now Policina delivers. It's a high floating ball and great grab from Malag, proving exactly why she's come into this Adelaide United side. She might have hurt herself in the process though.
That is absolute quality from Alona Malag, just commanding her area. There were so many bodies around her, trying to crowd around her. Policina with a good delivery, just trying to put it right in on that 6-yard box. She came to claim it, took the hit as well. Secured possession and more importantly as well, was eating up a few minutes towards the end of this half.
Yeah, she's just got to get herself to half-time and then they can do a more thorough assessment. The physios will be out on the pitch. Of course, keepers have a special rule where they don't have to leave the pitch if the physios come on for some treatment for obvious reasons. That would be quite chaotic if they had to go off. Of course, on the bench today for Adelaide, Claudia Jenkins was called up to the New Zealand national side last season on the back of some exceptional form, but wasn't quite able to replicate that at the beginning of this season, and that's why Malag has been preferred by coach Theo Siunis.
It looked like potentially Kennedy White, as she they fell together. Kennedy White started in front of her, but I think as Malag actually caught the ball and twisted and fell forward. Kennedy White just caught her on the back. But again, just a really confident take in what was a very busy area by Alona Malag.
She is back on her feet and is looking good to go. It's good to see. She's quite tall. She's probably not finished growing either, only 17, which is something that goalkeeping coaches in particular look for. The taller you are, the more of the net you can cover. It's a pretty simple philosophy, and also your ability to take the ball in that sort of situation. As we saw there, Furphy into the penalty area now. Victory have 4 minutes of stoppage time to get this equaliser before half-time. They won't get it with deliveries like that. Pickett trying to put it back in the middle. Furphy keeping it alive. Plenty of red shirts surrounding her. Svetska looking for some space. She'll find Polisina. Rihanna Polisina. The ball taken away, only as far as Janczewski.
Let's go.
Polisina, one of the best futsal players in the country as well, so we know she's good in those tight spaces. Adelaide with another chance in transition here. Wirtz finding the run of McNamara. Now Dorber. Who can she find in the middle? Instead, she'll play it back. Hodson. Centering ball. Taranto. Dorber again. Has her arms out looking for options. Wirtz tried to play the wall pass. Dorber will win it back here. Across to Wirtz. Later Wirtz cutting inside. Wirtz over the crossbar.
Well, I think that was a foul on Chelsea Dorber. Look at that by Pickett. Had grabbed her around the hips. The referee was right there. There was no advantage gained, and actually that should be a yellow card and a free kick. Incredibly frustrating, and it was close to the edge. It could have been inside. And there's sometimes those moments when you're like, especially late in this half, that is so clear cut, and you just wonder why that wasn't given.
Coach Alicia Ferguson coming out on the broadcast. Oh, Victory, a couple of minutes here. Ray. Janczewski looking for White. Kennedy White, good first touch up against Tonkin. Malag can only palm it away. And at the second time of asking, it's Kennedy White, the American, who scores her 7th of the season. Melbourne Victory equalised just before half-time. And that is just what the visitors needed.
Oh, how quickly the momentum can change for what should have been a foul down the other side. A long ball. Kennedy White, just a little toe poke into Malag to begin with. A fortunate bounce back out. Tried to jink around Tonkin. And Victory get their equaliser in stoppage time of the first half. Well, that would be really disappointing for Adelaide United. I have a feeling Theo Tsounis may have something to say to some of the officials, because by all means, I think that should have been a foul in the first instance up the other end.
Coach Killer just before half-time. That is the worst time to concede, but it's Adelaide who are looking to score another. Taranto brought to ground. Foul awarded that time. Janczewski's down in back play. Adriana Taranto hurt as well as a consequence of the foul. It's all happening in these final few minutes of the half.
Yeah, there's definitely been a flurry of activity. Taranto just jinking in. Holly Furphy, hands around her, trying to pull her back. Didn't have a grab of her shirt or anything, just arms up, trying to impede her forward momentum.
This set-piece opportunity might just be the last action of the half. And from the Reds' perspective, from that man Theo Tsounis' perspective, they'll be hoping to capitalise.
Yeah, as much as he'll be frustrated with that previous call, I think you also have to tell your players that you never switch off. The game's still playing, the half's not over. So there'll be discussions about that too for Adelaide United.
Paige Zoyce standing over the dead ball. Pulled on by the Adelaide faithful. Here's the delivery into side netting. Opportunity comes to naught.
Supposed to be disappointed with that delivery. It was a lovely angle, good positioning on this right-hand side. Good opportunity just to continue getting the pressure, well, to get the pressure back on to victory after conceding that goal so late in the half.
So that is the end of the first half action. An exciting first 45 minutes here at Coopers Stadium. It was Fiona Wirtz who opened the scoring for Adelaide. At that point, the Reds were looking great guns, but then right before halftime, Kennedy White got the equaliser for Melbourne victory, her 7th goal of the season, only her 2nd goal in the last 7 games as well. So an important one for her. Halftime, it is Adelaide United 1, Melbourne victory 1. So here is how that first 45 minutes played out. It was both sides having opportunities throughout. Melbourne victory perhaps starting the better of the two.
Yeah, wonderful run from Rihanna Policina. We've seen her do it time and time again. Creative player, getting it into Silvestre. She saw a bit of space in front of her and decided to test Malag in the Adelaide United goal.
How many times did we see this? Adriana Taranto taking on Alana Janchevski. Most of the time, though, wasn't able to result in a shot for Adelaide.
That was another great run from Taranto on that right-hand side. And great to see 4 Adelaide players in the box. Fiona Wirtz near post just wasn't able to pick someone out, but that was a great chance.
And again, another chance that started with Taranto on this side.
It was just rinse and repeat for Taranto, wasn't it? Fiona Wirtz and Taranto actually continuing her run. Put the defenders, Kayla Morrison, in 2 minds about whether she was going to continue with the 1-2. Janchevski had watched the ball. Kayla Morrison had to think, right now I've got 2 players, and Fiona Wirtz just went, right, I'm going to shift it onto my left foot and pop it in the far corner. It was a wonderful finish and great awareness from Fiona Wirtz.
Yeah, spectacular finish from Wirtz, and then he was the equaliser just before the break.
I think Alona Malag will be pretty disappointed. You see her slapping her hands after that diagonal ball from Janchevski. It was lovely. Great touch from Kennedy White, but really there wasn't a lot on that toe poke from Kennedy White to start with, and Alona Malag probably should have held it in the first instance.
So the stats from that first half, the victory with a lot more shots.
A lot more shots and shots on target, but they've all been pretty comfortable for Malag. I think what I would like to see from victory in the second half is actually utilising those wide channels a bit more.
Well, plenty of action is still to come. Don't go anywhere for the second half. Well, welcome back to Cooper Stadium in Adelaide, where it is currently 1 goal apiece between Adelaide United and Melbourne Victory in the original rivalry. Well, after winning the Ninja A-League last season, the Central Coast Mariners' Taylor Ray decided to head south this season and sign with Melbourne Victory, the team she conquered in last May's decider. A foot injury prevented the 4-time premiership winner from making her Victory debut until round 5, but now it's all systems go as Ray aims to add to her impressive title collection.
And the Central Coast Mariners are the Ninja A-League champions of 2025.
To win a championship, I think there's a lot of factors that go into it. Obviously, it all begins at the pre-season. You go through the full home-away series, but it's all about your diligence on and off the field as well, building chemistry as a team, and also just having great support around you. Like, fans are very important to the women's game, but it takes a lot of hard grit and just desire and passion to win a championship.
Sydney FC lead in the grand final.
I've won 4 championships altogether. 3 with Sydney FC and 1 with the Central Coast Mariners, but I've only played in 3 championships all up. Obviously, no matter what team you're versing in a grand final, there's going to come many different obstacles throughout the game, but if you don't believe in yourself and the teammates around you, then you're never going to get to that end result. So yeah, every game I've gone into and stepped on that field, I have that faith that we are going to win.
Ante Juric, a champion again with a champion team. Full of stars.
My first championship I won, I was very young, so stepping on the field with some older national team players and everything like that, the feeling of that is very surreal because those are your idols you're playing with. And then once you become a bit older, you're becoming one of those leaders on the field. You're trying to navigate the younger players and help them with their confidence levels and trying to inspire them, like this is what it takes to win. So each one holds a very special memory to me, and I'm really excited to hopefully bring some more silverware to victory. Yeah, I think the best part of winning championship is like not only is it the teammates around you, but it actually kind of shows to the staff members and your fans that, you know, we kind of brought it back to the community as well. So a big part for me last season was going back to Central Coast to celebrate there. Yes, as much as we loved winning with one another, you know, we spent like the next week celebrating that victory, which is so special and such a special memory to hold. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember a lot of the night after winning it, but it's definitely something that I'll carry those memories forever, and I can't wait to hopefully do it again.
Yeah, she's a pretty special talent, isn't she, Taylor Ray? And she's had a pretty good first half here in Adelaide. Well, it is still 1-1 between Adelaide United and Melbourne Victory in this game. We'll take a look at how those goals panned out. It was Fiona Wirtz for Adelaide United who got things rolling.
Wonderful work. Adriana Taranto down that right-hand side has been epic all first half. Head up here, dribbling the ball, wonderful technique, little jink back inside. Tried to get a 1-2 with Wirtz. She went, nope, I'm going to take it myself. I've got a bit of space. I'll just do a little swivel, get it on my left foot and pop it into the top corner. Wonderful finish by Wirtz.
Fantastic finish from the Englishwoman. Her first goal of the season. And then Kennedy White just before the break, equalising here.
Quality ball from Janchevski. Look, head up, nice flat trajectory on it. Good touch by Kennedy White. Little toe poke. Just think Ilona Malag would be a bit disappointed she wasn't able to hold that in the first instance. But Kennedy White did really well to poke it home and get them on level terms.
Well, we're away just for a short break before the second half. But before we go, don't forget the Women's Asian Cup starting March 1st.
1, 2, 3, best believe I got something up my sleeve. I'm a queen and I'm coming for my throne. Should've known your days were numbered. It's my turn, what you learn.
Oh, I say it's incredible.
Well, welcome back to Cooper Stadium in Adelaide, where the scores are currently locked. 1 goal apiece between Adelaide United and Melbourne Victory. Of course, a double header here today, a sold out Cooper's Stadium, and both of these teams contesting for the Pride Cup. And there's that man, Arthur Dillers, Melbourne Victory's men's coach, just taking a look at proceedings. Here is how the Ninja A-League ladder stands. So this is a live ladder as it stands with scores locked. Melbourne Victory remain in 4th, jumping up above the Newcastle Jets on goal difference. And Adelaide United, well, you can see them down in 9th. They really need a win to push themselves up this ladder. They scored first. They would have loved to hold on to that lead. Can they regain it in the second 45? That is something that they will certainly hope that they can do. As with every weekend, it is action-packed in the Ninja A-League. The action started on Friday with the Jets defeating the Melbourne City for the very first time in their history. Wanderers and Raw played out a draw, a late goal to Bente Janssen, securing the point for the Raw. Half-time here, it is 1 apiece between the Reds and Victory. And then in progress, Canberra United and Wellington Phoenix currently scoreless in Canberra. Tomorrow, the Mariners take on Perth Glory. That's at 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So the teams leaving their huddles for this second half. Pride Cup is on the line, but 3 very, very important points on the line. And not just the points, the momentum for both of these sides heading into the second part of the season. They're desperate for things to come together. Adelaide have struggled to score goals. Well, they put that to bed somewhat in the first half with Fiona Wirtz's goal. And Victory, well, they've struggled to hold on to points. 5 defeats already in 11 games this season. Is the home side Adelaide United, who get us back underway at Cooper's Stadium. Scores locked at 1 goal apiece heading into this second 45. Who will be the side to break the deadlock? Adelaide are hoping to do so straight from kickoff as Condon has the ball taken away from her by Claudia Bunge. And it is an exciting 45 minutes ahead, Alicia Ferguson.
Yeah, it was a great first half where we thought Adelaide had the ascendancy going into the break at 1-0, but in injury time, Melbourne Victory able to snatch one back through Kennedy White. So it's just a simple reset at half-time. I think what Adelaide United have been doing well is really utilising the wide channels to their advantage. Adriana Taranto had a wonderful first half, so it'll be interesting to see how they approach this second half. Whereas conversely, we haven't seen a lot of Sakalis or Furphy from Melbourne Victory, and where we have seen them be quite effective in those wide areas, they were pretty quiet in that first half.
Here's Victory looking to play out from the back. Kennedy White, the first half goal scorer for Victory, being taken to ground by Mel Taranto. Physical player, Mel, as is her twin sister Adriana, but Mel known as the more defensive of the two, and you can see that in the role that Adriana is playing today as that wing player, taking on Janszewski over and over again. Here comes Victory down this side, but a misplaced pass gives possession back to the Reds. Tolland can't keep it in. Adelaide started off the half very free-flowing, but now it's just quietened down. Policina looking to play that ball in behind for Furphy. Instead, it's McNamara who gets there first, and then Malag having to clear it away. She will be disappointed with the way that Reds conceded that goal, Malag. Policina in behind for Furphy. And Furphy left that, I think, because she thought she was offside, but There was no flag. Whether there would have been a flag? Interesting.
I don't think there would be a flag until she touches the ball, Taryn, and I do think she was offside. She's made a couple of runs now. She's clearly trying to get herself more connected to the play rather than staying in those wide areas. Policina's played a couple of balls to her where she's trying to almost do a reverse or straight pass onto Furphy's diagonal run. But just didn't quite time it well enough.
A little bit too exuberant here from Kennedy White on McNamara.
Yeah, little pull of jersey, arm over the shoulder. That's an easy one to spot for Isabella Mawson.
Here's Mel Taranto, and put under pressure by Taylor Ray. Good ball from Malag, finding Wirtz. There's Adriana Taranto on her outside, that's where she'll go. Taranto up against Janchevsky, who is not leaving her alone, won that duel. And the sign of things to come in the second half, and then Taranto, a big old tug of the shirt on Sakalis. Victory win the foul.
Well, Janchevsky's got a bit of a point to prove, doesn't she? From that first half, she was nice and tight onto Taranto as she received the ball onto her touch. Little touch in there, and then Sakalis did well. Again, just using her body to protect the ball and drawing the foul.
Do you think that Melbourne Victory coach Jeff Hopkins would have had a word to her at halftime about that duel?
I don't think he'd need to. I think as a player, you know when the opposition has been getting the better of you. And again, it's a nice time, the halftime break, to reset. Yeah, sure, there might have been some advice from Jeff or some other players about how she could improve, you know, winning the ball in those duels. And I think it is probably just getting a lot tighter to Taranto and making sure she's right on her touch as she receives the ball.
Well, Policina going to ground and eventually getting the decision her way. It took a few seconds for Isabella Mawson to make up her mind here. Seems a pretty clear-cut foul.
Yeah, just snuck in between. Policina's been quite bright in these for opening few minutes of the second half. We saw a little bit of her in the first portion of the first half, but she's such a creative player. You see her dropping a little bit deeper now to pick up the ball. She did that when Newborn had the ball from the 18-yard box. Really, you want to get her on the ball as much as possible.
Janchevsky's delivery, the header. Great save, Malag. Kayla Morrison was there and forced a piece of goalkeeping brilliance out of the 17-year-old.
She's just got wonderful timing. I think Kayla will be pretty disappointed that she hasn't put that into the back of the net, but she was kind of coming back and around, falling as she made contact, and a wonderful save from Malag.
Sienna Silveskia on corner taking duties. The in-swinging delivery at the back post. Bunge was there. Couldn't get it on target, just skimmed off the top of her head and out for a goal kick.
And just a little bit too much contact, trying to get onto the ball.
It's fascinating watching these moments here as Adelaide try and play their way out from the back. They've been successful at it for the most part, but there have been times when Victory have forced the issue and you can just sense opportunities coming from it, like this one. It's a poor delivery from Janchevsky, but it was that Victory press that forced the turnover and gave Victory the chance there.
And we didn't see as much of that in the first half. However, Malag was playing longer balls, trying to break out of the pressure into Fiona Wirtz, who was just sitting in between the Victory defensive line and midfield line, just finding a lovely pocket of space.
To Carlos. To Janchevsky. Policina. Bring it all the way back to Bunge just to keep possession. Now Bunge attempting the forceful ball forward.
Yeah, she had plenty of time, Claudia Bunge, to try and pick a pass there. Taylor Ray had actually made a run all the way back into the back line to try and get an overload to build up play, and Claudia Bunge just decided to opt for the long ball with no success.
Janchevsky's throw finds White to Carlos. Across to Silvesca, nice first touch. Zoyce defends it with her stomach. She was able to get something going for Adelaide, but it's intercepted in midfield. Meanwhile, they're down in back play, so they will have to be stopped.
Just holding her shin, Janchevski. And yeah, Chelsea Dorber just, well, catching her first and foremost when she got her, and then, that's the one that really hurts. The step on the shin, little hyperextension as well. No intent there from Chelsea Dorber. Janchevski sliding in and her momentum taking her through. Dorber trying to stay on her feet. Good to see Janchevski up again. A little bit of a grimace though. That one hurts. There's not much padding on the top of your shin, even with the shin pads.
They were teammates for a season, Janchevski and Dorber, back in 2023-24. So they know each other well.
And Chelsea Dorber was straight over to say, sorry, are you okay? Obviously, again, no intent. There wasn't too much. She didn't really know. She was just planting her foot to try and get out of the tackle of Janchevski.
Victory trying to work an opening. Pickett into Mel Taranto. Now Words, Condon taken out of play by Pickett. Erin Healy on the bench for Adelaide today. She had a niggle, which is why she hasn't been able to start, but we can expect her at some point in the game. She has been named on the bench. What a difference that could make. The American Island international. She had such an impact on the competition when joining last season. Such a quality player. Kennedy White. Offside flag raised.
Yeah, it would be great as an injection of energy, enthusiasm, and a quality player for Erin Healy to get on the pitch. That was a tight call. Just looking at the line of the grass across the pitch. Hard to see. Kennedy White was pretty marginal there. It was a lovely straight ball onto her run across the defensive line.
You've got to trust the groundkeepers that they've done their job in making nice straight lines, and so we can judge the offside calls on that.
That's right.
Words. Still Fiona Words. Ball delivered central. Dorber was there. Morrison also there. Clears it away for a corner. Set piece opportunity here for the Reds from this corner. Paige Zoyce trotting over to take.
Yeah, Adelaide United, I think there's 7 players in there. The box is so crowded, mainly towards that near post. Bit of argy-bargy going on. It'll be interesting to see what Isabella Mawson says, whether she wants to hold it up. She's going to allow
Zoyce's delivery. It's curling towards the back post, and it's gone all the way in. Paige Zoyce has scored an Olympico against her former club. And Adelaide retake the lead.
Well, you get a good contact on the ball. You try and put it into a dangerous area. Paige Zoyce had good curl on it. It's high. Just nicks on the inside of the post. Very difficult for Courtney Newbond for the positioning of that ball and where it dropped in. Almost like the top corner. Paige Zoyce, celebrates that one. You'll take them when they come, but what a wonderful delivery from Paige Zoyce to get Adelaide United back in front.
That's a brilliant moment for the 22-year-old. She made 34 appearances for Melbourne Victory, fell out of favour in the last few seasons of her time there, made the move over to Adelaide this season. She's now scored 2 in red. She always had so much talent in those boots, and this might be the season where on the Ninja A-League stage we really start to see it.
Yeah, it was a great delivery. As I said, get that good connection. Make sure you beat the first defender.
Here's Sakalis. Still Sophia Sakalis trying to play it in behind. Looking to immediately equalise again. Can Victory come back again from behind? Adelaide have taken the lead twice now in this game. It's been an awfully long time between drinks for Adelaide United getting the win over Melbourne Victory. February 2022, the last time, the first ever Pride Cup, in fact, the last time that Adelaide got the 3 points against Melbourne Victory. Might just be one of those weekends of breaking droughts, of course. We saw on Friday night the Jets beating Melbourne City for the first ever time. And maybe today we will see another drought broken, not quite as long this one.
No, I'm not saying anything, Taryn. There's still plenty of football to be played in this game. I think it's been a pretty even contest. Interesting to see how and what impact the substitutes have, because there'll probably be some coming now. We usually see them around the 65th minute of matches, try and get some fresh legs, an injection of something different.
Pickett with the throw. Looking for the penalty area. Malag can come and claim before Kennedy White can get there. A bit of a scuffed kick there from Malag. It's turned out okay though, because it's found its way to Dorber. Wirtz. Hodson. Emily Hodson. Driving in field. Still Hodson, claiming she was dragged back, but Victory win possession cleanly in the end. Sakalis looking for the run of White. Kennedy White is once again offside. Aish Ferguson is frustrated.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's frustrating. Just those marginal. It's a good run by Kennedy White. That's the second time she's just been called offside. She's had a good run. Can't see what's happening behind her. Continues her run. I think that's just a little bit of lack of scanning, lack of awareness. You've got to be aware of what the defenders are doing. If anything else, try and check off, get that ball into feet and keep possession. And you can see her frustration. She kicked the ball away as well.
Zois's header to Ray. A little bit of aerial ping pong happening in the centre of the park. Dorber wins out. Chelsea Dorber, red shirts in front of her. It's a 4-on-2 here at the back, potentially. Dorber, Condon, the back heel, the strike blocked it the first time. Still a battle on here. Hodson trying to win out, getting involved again. Dorber, no one could get the shot away. And Kayla Morrison gratefully runs away with it and clears it up the line. Furphy now breaking into space for Melbourne Victory. This would be quite the turnaround. Holly Furphy looking to find Sakalis, who was free in the box for a moment. Instead forced out for a corner.
That's what you call a transition moment from the attack by Adelaide United. Nice little combination play. That was good awareness by Dorber, just to let the ball into Condon, trying to get it to Hodson in that far post. Defending well. There's Bunge, there's Morrison, Pickett's there as well. A few little rebounds, and who do we see? Just striding in nice and casually and composed, Kayla Morrison to clear up the danger.
In the meantime, there's been a substitution for Melbourne Victory. Ella O'Grady introduced to replace Sienna Silvesca. Of course, it was Silvesca's first start. Well, she looks pretty good out there, but maybe just still needing her minutes managed. Janchevsky's corner delivery towards the back post, played across, and somehow right in front of goal, Laura Pickett cannot hit the target.
Well, I was talking about moments before the game for both of these teams. Janchevsky's gone to the far post, as Melbourne tend to do. Kayla Morrison just backing away, volleying that ball back to Pickett, and she just couldn't wrap her foot around it well enough to tuck it into the near post.
So 26th appearance in the competition today, still no goals. Adriana Taranto up against Taylor Ray, does really well to cut inside Taranto. It would have been something if Adriana Taranto had managed to curl that into the top of the net instead. Out safely from a Victory perspective for a goal kick.
Almost looked like Adriana Taranto was kind of in. She had a little tug by Taylor Ray there. Lovely cut back inside, had a little look up. It was definitely trying to hit that far corner. Just couldn't get her foot around it as well. Just sliced it out for a goal kick.
bouncing ball, difficult to deal with. Tonkin does well to play it back to her keeper. Shevsky had time, and Taranto came back to put the pressure on. The delivery not what she would have liked. Even when Janchevsky has possession, Adriana Taranto is haunting her a little bit today. That clearance from the lag, straight out of play for a victory throw. Catching at that hamstring's not a good sign. She had a little bit of an injury break in that first half. O'Grady, his substitute, coming on, looking to inject new energy. He's stuck out a leg there, and he's clipped Mel Taranto.
It's unlike either of the Taranto sisters to stay down. Oh, that's a clumsy challenge. And just leaving that foot in the tackle. I think she could have pulled it away then, getting the free kick and nothing more.
Yeah, that's the challenge of a 20-year-old desperate to get into the game. O'Grady, of course, has scored 1 goal so far this season, looking to add a second. What a dramatic goal it was, the equaliser against the Mariners.
Yep, she'll just be looking for a bit more consistency now, Ella O'Grady. Consistency comes with more minutes, but trying to take advantage of any of those opportunities that are presented to her. She's a wonderful talent, got good pace, just needs to keep working on that composure when she gets herself into those positions.
So here is the introduction of Erin Healy. He's coming on to replace Fiona Wirtz, who was the scorer of the first goal in the first half. So a good day out for Fiona Wirtz, who can tick a goal off this season from her resume. Erin Healy, though, we know what a quality player she is. Mel Taranto, meanwhile, also making way. Sarah Morgan, the 24-year-old, will come on for only her 4th appearance this season. Originally from Canberra, Sarah Morgan has had stints at the Glory and the Wanderers. Has really found a home, though, at Adelaide over the past few seasons. Has been a workhorse for them in midfield, and that is exactly why she's coming on to replace another workhorse in Mel Taranto. And of course, the big one is Erin Healy. They're already in the lead, Adelaide, and we know just what Healy can do. Getting in an early touch as well. And that one intercepted by Policina. Hannah Policina trying to force her way through. Morgan, the substitute, doing really well to win out there. Nice to hear the Reds fans having a chant for Erin Healy as well. That is the esteem in which she is held by fans here who have watched her really work her magic over the past season and a half. Here she is now. Still Healy. Get past Morrison. Zoyce. Switching play. Now for Dorber. McNamara. Lovely touch. Poking it into the penalty area. Healy can't get there. How good is that, though, from Matilda McNamara, who's been given a license in this game to really make things happen going forward.
Yeah, I thought she was going to just take a touch on and have a strike at goal.
Hodson. Emily Hodson, thinking about the strike herself, instead plays it into Dorber. Dorber back to Zoyce. Paige Zoyce from distance! Well, she scored one spectacular goal today. She was thinking about a second.
I like the initiative, just having a little look up, seeing the position, rolled it out of her feet and thought, why not? I could strike it. Tiny little deflection means that they've got a corner out of it as well.
She can strike them from distance. We've seen that this season. Adelaide, another chance from a corner. This time, trotting over is Morgan, who will take. Victory fans just letting everyone know how much time is being taken. Morgan's delivery kept in well. So Carlos is there to take it out of danger. You can see the intent with the in-swinging corners from both sides.
Yeah, that one looked more to try and get it just near the near post, whereas we've seen a couple of far post in-swingers, exactly to the example with Paige Zoyce scoring. Do you see Victory tend to try and hit that far post quite a bit when you've got Kayla Morrison kind of tucking back, Claudia Bunge, who are really good in the air. But it's such an important part of the game these days. I mean, it's always been an important part of the game. I feel like the emphasis has improved and gotten more, there's been more emphasis put on set pieces. The Matildas now have their own set piece coach, because it just shows you there's so much importance in that side of the game, particularly, well, at every level, but international level, when the margins might be a lot finer.
If you can find a way to score from a set piece, it's very, very important. Every goal counts the same, whether or not it's a beautiful flowing move from the back or whether it's a big lump up forward from a set piece and someone gets in and scores a header or makes something happen. It all counts.
Absolutely.
Cover it.
McGrady, substitute, looking for the low delivery. Great save again, Malag, to deny Kennedy White at the near post. Fantastic work from Ella O'Grady. A wonderful low cross. White couldn't apply the finish.
Well, she slipped here, Ella O'Grady, just at the point of contact. But from that angle where Kennedy White is, that is a wonderful strike on target. Malag covering her near post. She was falling away from the goal, had to really whip her foot around it. Kennedy White did really well.
Polisina now with the corner for Victory. Towards the near post, it's headed high in the air, still not cleared. Malag, well, it wasn't completely convincing, but she got the ball in the end. After that ball was cleared high in the sky, it could have gone anywhere. Thankfully, from an Adelaide perspective, straight to their keeper.
Yeah, again, nice and strong. It kind of bobbled around. There's a little fumble there, but not too much to be of any concern. I've been really impressed with Malag, such a wonderful talent.
Murphy can't get there ahead of McNamara, as much as we've seen her dancing feet up top. Just reminding us as to why she's such a highly rated defender. Has won Matilda's cap, McNamara, back in 2022. In and around the conversation. Still only 27 years of age. That's sprightly and young for a defender. Ball played forward as Erin Healy looking to get on the end of it. Can't do so. We haven't seen her super involved as of yet, but you'd imagine that will change.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Fiona Wirtz stay on the pitch when Erin Healy came on. Just like to add a bit more oomph, but maybe it was a bit more of a conservative approach rather than having two very similar type players, two very attack-minding players, 2-1 up. You know, that game management, that risk and reward that we constantly talk about in football.
They could just be looking to manage minutes as well for Wirtz. Unfortunately, been injuries for Fiona Wirtz that has curtailed some of her career in this competition. Certainly her stint with Sydney as well. Almost a calamity between Ella Tonkin and Alona Malag there. That would have been just about the worst way to concede.
It really would have. One of those heart in throat moments. Little touch. Malag needed to get that little touch. It wasn't a great back pass by Tonkin.
Polisina's corner is able to be fairly comfortably dealt with, although O'Grady was there. It was a heavy touch from McNamara. It looked like she was in the clear. There was no one around her, but she couldn't get the control to clear it away. Victory now with the throw. Janczewski, that left-footed curling delivery. White's header missing the frame of goal. Wonderful ball in from Alana Janczewski there.
Another opportunity goes begging Kennedy White did really well just getting in between the Adelaide defenders.
Well, a big moment here for Chelsea Blissett, who replaces Janczewski, that cross, her last involvement in this game. It is a Melbourne victory debut for Blissett, the 25-year-old, who's previously had stints at Melbourne City and also the Brisbane Roar. She had a back injury to start the season. So while she's been an unused substitute on a number of occasions, this is the first time that she's taken the pitch. So her 70th appearance in this competition is for victory. Meanwhile, Sienna Teixeira coming on to replace Piggott, so an attacking substitution there for victory as they chase this game. Here's a ball in behind for Dorber. Chelsea Dorber, Adriana Taranto. Can she find options in the middle? Will she shoot herself? Taranto! Off the outside of the bar.
She tried one earlier, just didn't quite catch it the first time, but I thought that one was just floating up and over Courtney Newbon. But she's had a wonderful game, hasn't she? Adriana Taranto, I think, definitely been in contention for player of the match. Has been full of energy down this right-hand side. Has really given Janczewski something to think about. A little look up here. Yeah, just again, this is a tiny technical detail, trying to get her toe just a bit further around that ball, because it looked good as she hit it, and then it kind of swung back out just a little bit straighter rather than getting that curl all the way into the corner. But a wonderful effort.
Healy can't win it off Policina. Policina's ball, though, was intercepted by Emily Hodson. It could have been dangerous for victory. Instead, they get away with it and then launch it forward. White tearing after it. Malag very calm under pressure. Morgan also had to be good and was. McNamara, the line. And they play their way through here. Condon probably hasn't had as much of an impact on this game as she usually does. She's probably been Adelaide's most dangerous player over the course of the season so far. And highly experienced. This is her 137th appearance, all for Adelaide. Adelaide have a very high contingent of one-club players that have been there through highs and lows and everything in between.
Yeah, that's awesome to see. I guess with the way that Adelaide have been playing, what they have been doing is utilising those wide channels really well, which maybe means that Emily Condon hasn't been on the ball as much, playing those combinations through the centre of the park.
Now, there was a pretty clear foul by McNamara on Furphy to give victory the opportunity from a deep set piece here. Taylor Ray's delivery. Bunge's header, not enough power on it, always trickling out of play.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it could have been that Claudia Bunge going for that header, trying to get it on target, or just trying to cushion it down, because Kennedy White was free with no Adelaide defenders anywhere near her, just kind of ghosting in at that far post.
Let's go kick. This finds Healy. Taranto. Morgan. Morgan's ball not finding its intended target. 10 shots on target. Melbourne victory today. 2 for 2 for Adelaide.
Yeah, they'll be frustrated with that statistic, especially if they're not able to get anything out of this game. And it's the conceding goals as well. They're up to conceding 17 goals and not being able to actually convert their chances.
Tikalis there getting a touch as Morgan tried to play her way out of trouble, but it didn't come to anything. These little moments just aren't going victory's way right now. Another telling stat, 63 final third entries for victory, 28 for Adelaide. But it is Adelaide who are in the lead, and the only stat that really matters. Dorber. Chelsea Dorber running inside. Healy picking it up. Condon, Emily Condon was offside. That's better though from the Reds. Not a good sign. Is Healy getting gingerly back to her feet after not being able to start?
Yeah, interested to see Yeah, Aaron Healy just trying to play maybe a little 1-2. Claudia Bunge late, but the ball was gone. Got away, able to break out of pressure through that free kick.
Claudia Bunge with the task of playing from the back. That ball just trickling harmlessly out of play, which will suit Adelaide just fine.
Just going back to that final third entry stat, like that's a huge discrepancy from one team to another. They're the type of things when you're going back and doing your analysis, like, okay, what were the moments, what were the things where we weren't converting as many of those opportunities into either clear-cut chances or goals? And I think that's something that, as I say, you know, you go, you do the analysis, you work on from week to week, but it's been a bit of a story of the season for Victory, and I think unusually conceding so many goals. Like, we've always known them as such a solid defensive unit.
Kennedy White still on the ground here for Victory. She's trying to get to her feet to help out with this play. Of course, referee not obliged to stop play unless it is a head injury. Healy centering ball. Condon getting involved. Now picking it up from deep is Hodson. Emily Hodson. Big clash there. She tries to keep it alive, but Adelaide conceding the foul. The crowd growing for this Pride Cup doubleheader. They're getting more and more involved, and they're not happy about that decision at all.
No, they've always been so parochial, the Adelaide crowd. It's good to see. I do love these doubleheaders for the A-League, where maybe some of the fans of the men's game have an opportunity to actually see what the women can do. And these doubleheaders really do provide that opportunity, and great to see lots of the rainbow flags around supporting the Pride round. Such an important message to send, that football is inclusive, that we're calling out any discrimination or abuse, and that it is a safe space.
The story of football in this country has always been one of being a sport for all, no matter where you come from, no matter who you are, what you identify as. And this game, this Pride Cup, it means so much to so many people in the stands and on the pitch as well. Here come Adelaide. Healy, ball taken away by Furphy. Couldn't find an option quickly, so she's forced to just hold it up. Now she'll look to go down the line. Dealt with well. Policina now in space in the middle of the park. White not quite able to chase that one down. It was Kennedy White scoring what was then an equaliser for Melbourne Victory in the dying stages of the first half. And Paige Zoyce in the second half against her former club, scoring an Olympico for Adelaide to retake the lead. A couple of contentions for goal of the week so far in this game. And another substitution for Adelaide. So Emily Condon makes way. Amelia Macris, the 21-year-old, coming on to the pitch. Her 6th appearance this season. No goals as of yet. 825 days since her last goal in this competition, but we know how talented she is. She was a regular under-20 international. She's represented Australia at the under-23 level as well. And you'll imagine it's just a matter of time before she finds her scoring boots again. The home fans would love for it to be today.
Just back here, thank you. Back here, bring it back. Back first. Support, please.
It's Victory, though, who are on the attack, trying to force things here. They'll have plenty of belief. They know what they can do. They're not going to do it with balls like that. Bliss's delivery straight out of play for a goal kick.
We talk about those final third entries, and then on top of that, the quality of that final pass, and maybe that's where slightly been let down.
I love those sunnies on that, man. That is fantastic. That is really getting into the spirit of the Pride Cup.
It's absolutely brilliant. Brilliant to see so much support for the LGBTQIA+ community in this match.
Well, White's ball in behind the delivery. Teixeira too close to the keeper. Adelaide can claim. Here they go again. Victory Bunge. Always wide. An adventurous run from the centre back, and why not at this stage? Adelaide fans behind the goal love it.
I'm sure they're giving the Melbourne Victory players a little bit of stick, trying to put them off their game a little bit when they're coming into shoots. But we're talking about those final third entries, but there have been quite a few shots from outside the box from Melbourne Victory. It's something that they need to just have a little look at, how if they're getting into the final third, then they can convert them into better chances.
We've seen a lot of that though as well, and this is something where as the minutes tick down, Victory need to remember to continue doing the good things right, because they have done plenty of good things in this game. It's just that conversion that they're missing right now.
Absolutely, and that's where the frustration comes, and it's the question, right? We're doing good things, but we need to do something different, because we've only got the one goal at the moment, and big questions for Adelaide is how they manage the rest of this game. This is a huge opportunity for them to get 3 points.
Healy winning the ball off Bunge. It's a duel between Healy and Bunge that you usually expect to see in Victory's third. Instead, at the moment, it's happening in Adelaide's half. Adelaide are the team with the one goal advantage. A reminder, they have not defeated Melbourne Victory in the Ninja A-League for 1,421 days. Nearly 4 years. The last time that the Reds tasted victory in the original rivalry in this competition. Will it be today? Would this be a drought breaker of a weekend at the expense of both Melbourne clubs?
Wouldn't it be great at home? We can now hear the Adelaide United supporters, the Melbourne Victory supporters. You can see them, they're behind the goal. The drums are out. They're starting to be in full voice, really building the atmosphere in the final minutes of this match.
Is it? Goes to ground. Legally, says the referee. So it's Taranto in possession. Just took a little bit too long to know what to do with that. And in the end, wins the foul. O'Grady winning the ball illegally off Taranto.
Yeah, just having a little look. I thought maybe just a little. Could have potentially been a knee that just caught Taranto, like in the side of her leg there, the side of her shin pad. The shin pad doesn't cover. She's a pretty tough character. Loves the physicality of the game. Has had a wonderful game. I really think she has been the game changer for Adelaide United.
Paige Lewis, the Victorian for Adelaide, taking the free kick. And it's Victory again. Teixeira, she's got pace to burn. Sienna Teixeira looking to use all of that, but again, a little bit too enthusiastic.
Oh, she may as well. She's got to make something happen. Teixeira trying to win the ball back. Put Hodson under pressure. Try and get those transition moments.
Victory not able to keep the ball in play. Again, that suits Adelaide just fine, but they can't completely shut up shop here, because if they invite too much pressure on them, well, we all know what can happen. It was Melbourne Victory, need we remind you, who were 3 goals down in stoppage time against the Mariners, came back to equalise to make it 3-all. 1 goal is nothing to this team at this stage in the game. There is still plenty to play for, but Adelaide have got to stay alert. They've got to continue playing football, and even perhaps thinking about opportunities for a third as well. Carlos's ball intercepted by Adriana Taranto. He goes to ground, shoulder to shoulder, says the referee. So it's Victory's ball. Nice touch from White. Sakalas across to Policina. Thought about shooting. Now Sakalas Shot blocked. Polisina went to ground, is appealing for a free kick. Will be the judge after a replay.
Well, Taranto there, I thought that was a foul. Sakalis coming in behind her, tripping her over. Taranto not very happy. And then Polisina, I thought she had an opportunity and an opening to actually take that shot with her right foot.
Here's Healy on the run. Lovely ball for Macris. Amelia Macris driving into the space offered. Dorber, Chelsea Dorber around the corner. Adriana Taranto! Straight at Courtney Newbon. That's the right idea for the Reds, though, because opportunities are going to come in transition as Victory chase this equaliser.
Yeah, it was awesome from... there could have been a little foul from Kayla Morrison on Macris. It ended up the ball coming out to Taranto. Polisina in a bit of bother here. She's holding her wrist, her left wrist. There wasn't too much in it, so maybe just a fall awkwardly. You can see she went down straight away, held her wrist straight away. It was calling for the physio and the doctor.
Hopefully this is nothing serious for Polisina. Meanwhile, Izzy Hodgson has come on to replace Adriana Taranto, but judging by that reaction from Rihanna Polisina, who is very tough. She's very tough. That's not good.
That's not good from that replay. Sorry, I gasped. Yeah. Whether there's a little fracture in there immediately or potentially even a dislocation. She's in a lot of pain. Oh, that's so sad to see. So sad to see. We've had a couple of really serious injuries in the last couple of games. Unfortunately, Chloe Lagazo yesterday. Chloe Lagazo had the green whistle as well. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, that's pain relief, immediate pain relief, which is exactly what Rihanna Polisina needs.
So that substitution has already been made on the board of Jessica Young coming on to replace Rihanna Polisina, but Polisina will need some treatment. They'll take their time here because that looks like it could be a very serious injury, and it becomes not just about football but about making sure that she's okay and gets the treatment that she needs. 7 minutes is the indicated stoppage time from the fourth official. Depending on how long it takes Polisina here, it might be a little bit longer. She is making her way off the pitch now. Our best wishes are with Rihanna Polisina because it looks like it could be quite a serious wrist injury.
Yeah, never like seeing players get injured. There has been some serious ones over the course of the weekend. No one likes to see it. Wishing Rihanna Polisina all the best for her recovery from what looks like a reasonably serious injury. So late in the game as well, Taryn. You know, we're into like the 89th, 90th minute, and it's such not a nothing challenge. Like, there wasn't too much, just a really unfortunate way that she has landed on her wrist. And it's just like, it's just really hard to watch. It's really hard to see when the players are injured.
All our best wishes with her. Jess Young on the pitch, 21 years of age. She's pacey. This is her 6th appearance in the competition. You'd imagine Victory will have a couple of minutes more than those 7 allotted to get themselves back in this game. That's a lovely ball in behind to Shera, the delivery. Tonkin got there and was able to clear it behind.
Really important for United to stay switched on here, but that was a wonderful ball just in behind Emily Hodgson. And another opportunity for Victory. We know they're good. Kayla Morrison in there. He's hanging around at the far post. So important for Chelsea Blissett to make sure her delivery is on point for this corner.
What a moment this could be on her Melbourne Victory debut. Chelsea Blissett's delivery towards the back post. Bunge will go chasing after it. A little bit too much on the delivery. And it's poked away for a Victory throw. Long throw option for Bunge. She's trying to launch it into the penalty area. It was headed away. And a foul one for Adelaide. A wry smile for Dorber there.
Yeah, she'll be happy. Just a little nudge in the back from Holly Furphy on Chelsea Dorber. Just try and use up a few more seconds. Try and see this game out and get themselves 3 points.
Second ball. Chelsea can win the second one here.
Victory trying to keep it alive, trying to maintain possession. Blissett. Zakalis. Furphy and now O'Grady. Nice little back heel from O'Grady into Furphy. And Furphy can't keep control of it, and how good is that there from Sarah Morgan off the bench, just shepherding the ball away and out for a goal kick. Precious seconds ticking by for Adelaide.
Yeah, great work by Sarah Morgan. This is the time of the game. Doesn't matter what position you've come on as. You've got defensive duties. Seeing that ball out, shielding it out.
Now some more work in the air to be done. It's Taylor Ray who comes around to sweep up to Shera. Back to Ray. Taylor Ray just launching it forward. Malag can claim.
Get up, up.
This is where the youngster, more experienced keeper, do you dive on that? Do you take a few seconds? You have a cramp? Malag being very, very honest there and just launching it back into midfield.
Yeah, I think that was the right decision as well, Taryn. There's not a few more. But yes, to your point, we've all seen the various ways where players, not just goalkeepers, but players can try and run the clock down. And this is the time of the game where we're at. We're in injury time. Late injury to Rihanna Policina. So important for Adelaide to stay switched on here. Don't take any risks.
You'd imagine there'll be at least 8 minutes of stoppage time given the time of the game that injury happened. And Dorber thought that she was away there, but committed the foul.
Yeah, I think that was the right call. Little kick at the back of the heels for Chelsea Blissett.
Because we saw what happened last night until Janssen equalising very late for the Raw against the Western Sydney Wanderers. Can Victory pull it off here today in the Pride Cup? Furphy. It's just Young looking to deliver the header wide off the crossbar. Victory coming so close to finding that late equaliser. Now Furphy trying to keep it alive. Blissett looking for options. Furphy. A lick of paint away. Well, Melbourne Victory from finding that goal they needed to share his delivery. White's header off the crossbar.
Kennedy White has to put that into the back of the net. That's a free header. She was in a good position, unmarked, had time to read the flight of the ball, and it's like a millimetre too far underneath it for it to hit the upright, but what a missed opportunity.
Still alive, Victory Young. To make things happen. Adelaide, though, will be doing everything in their power to retain possession or just take it away like Dorber did there. And a few minutes remaining for their first win against Melbourne Victory in 11 games since February 2022. Would Victory know how to mount a late comeback? Can they make it work here to Shera? Her delivery, Malag. Got a block on it, and then the volley from distance. It could have been something special, but Malag is telling everyone to calm down. She's got it covered.
Teixeira's done some great work since she's come on down that right-hand side. Two very absolute quality crosses. Delivery was on point. Kennedy White going to the near post on that one. She was free in that centre of the goal for the previous one.
Trying to scramble it away here, Adelaide. Sonkin Healy. Now Morgan. Can Adelaide seal it here? And that ball a little bit too much on it for Dorber to chase down. Will there be one last chance for Melbourne victory? So Carlos was heading it forward. Tonkin trying to clear away. And Adelaide United have done it for the first time in 1,421 days. Adelaide United have defeated Melbourne victory in the Ninja Ray League. It is a drought-breaking weekend of football in this competition. It was the Reds in front of their home fans who took the lead in the first half through Fiona Wirtz. Victory equalised, but then an Olympico goal for Paige Zoyce against her former club, her childhood club, sealed the win, and a very, very important 3 points in the context of this season. Full time, it is Adelaide United 2, Melbourne Victory 1. So let's take a look at the goals in this game. Adelaide United got us started in the first half.
Well, I think my personal choice for player of the match is Adriana Taranto. I thought she was wonderful for Adelaide in defence and attack. Trying to go for a little 1-2 here, but Fiona Wirtz had that awareness just to see that Kayla Morrison didn't step onto her, took it onto her left foot, and what a world-class finish.
Yeah, fantastic from Fiona Wirtz, her first goal of the season. Melbourne victory, though, equalised just before half-time.
Yeah, a real sucker blow for Adelaide United after scoring, but this ball from Janchevski, lovely diagonal ball, nice and flat. Kennedy White toe-poked it to Malaga. I think Malaga will be disappointed she didn't hold that, which gave Kennedy White the opportunity to poke it home.
And then how about this from Paige Zoyce? Do you reckon a little bit of mixed feelings against her childhood club, but bang, what a goal.
Yeah, what a goal. All about the delivery, right? She had the curl on it, was going to the far post, and anything can happen.